Hey,
There
David.
we go.
Good to see
All
you.
right.
Good to see you.
All right. I've been using Skype, so the Zoom is a bit new.
Gotcha. So,
How are
David,
you?
I'm doing well, David. How about you today?
All right. Not good. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Fantastic, David. It's a real pleasure to have you today. Thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you, David.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
So, David, The Passion of Dionysus, your new album is to be out on June 30th. So, would you like to tell me a bit about the songwriting and production behind this new album?
Sure. Sure. The album obviously deals with Dionysus, who is a one of a long line of dying and resurrecting god people, god men. Uh, and I like Dionysus because he's always got this element of danger about him. On one side, he can bring joy, peace, with the wine, but one sip too much and you could go over the edge and it can get dangerous. And this is something I explore on the record. The other thing about Dionysus that's really wonderful that I really like is the idea of freedom, restraint, control, release. Is there room in society for the wild, the letting go aspects of our nature? And science agrees that we do need escape from absolute reality. And that's where Dionysus comes in. So I explored all those sorts of ideas on the record. But in addition to that story of Dionysus and his arrival in Thebes to basically punish the king that's there, is something else going on. There's another story underlying it, but that's something that every listener will have to find out for themselves what that is as well. It's kept vague enough that you can read your own life in there, because I'm always speaking about what's going on. I'm not really giving a history lesson. I'm speaking about what's current events.
Gotcha. Fantastic. And talking about the album, 10 amazing songs, beautifully written, great musicianship, the vocals, the music, the entire progression, everything put together came out beautifully amazing. Each and every song
Thank
is
you.
totally mind blowing. Thank you, David, so much for the awesomeness.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Thank you.
And being a creator, what are your thoughts on this album? How do you feel about the outcome?
They're like my children. I love them all. Yeah, I love everything that we put out. Some, I'm close to than others, but I got really deep into this record, writing it, and I'm out of my mind because as I was writing this, I was also writing what's going to be the next album as well. So I got a lot of music ready for the next several years. If I didn't write another note, I have enough for 3 or 4 more albums still. But I'm always writing. It's just my nature. So I got really into doing this record, and I wanted to like push the envelope on everything. It's probably one of the most violent records we've done, and people seem to enjoy when we are at our most violent, so it is. I mean, the subject matter is violent and musically it's violent, so it all sort of worked together, but there's a violent beauty about the record. It sort of reminds me of like some of the moments from like Invictus or Atreus with a little bit of that Visions of Eden sort of ethereal quality, but it's also got something new and different on its own. Yeah, it's another branch on our metal tree.
Interesting. And any big plans on June 30th on the day of the release?
On the day of release,
Yes, do you have some special plans?
I will be Dionysian. I will drink a lot of wine and I will celebrate and whatnot. So far, it's so good. People have been enjoying the first and second single. So I think that's a good indication of what the rest of the record will be about. So I think people will, if they like those, they should like the rest of the record. Yeah, as you have discovered. Yeah. So yeah, it was meant to be a very barbaric, romantic epic style record, and I just dove in with that mindset, and that's what it is. Yeah.
Fantastic. And what would be the biggest touring plans for the year?
We're slowly getting back to the live thing. We're doing Crete and Spain in August, and I just got word that it looks like we're going to be in Italy in November. So it's growing. You know, we got other offers and stuff. So we're trying to, you know, organize to make sure it works with everyone's schedule, so we can all, you know, be there and whatnot. And yeah, we're slowly getting back into it, because it's been a while since we were doing consecutive dates, and I personally would like to get back to that, but it's a little difficult to always make everybody else in the group able to do that. So I don't want anyone to be, you know, feel bad about it. So I try to make it work so that it works for their schedules as well as my own.
Fantastic. And talking about the release, do you plan to come up with some kind of box set that goes along with this album, something like a pack?
I think there is, yeah, the label is doing something where there's the vinyl, there's the disc, and there's also a shirt that I know so far, and maybe there's a poster, if I'm not mistaken. I've got to investigate that. I've been so busy doing interviews and all that I haven't always spoken with the label. Actually, what's going on? Yeah, but I got to catch up.
Fantastic, fantastic. And David, the band's history goes way back to 1991, almost 40 years. So how has this amazing journey been for you so far?
Oh, to be honest, I don't really think of it as a career. It's been my way of life. I mean, I've been singing in bands since I was 11 years old. And, you know, that's the reason why I get up in the mornings to do stuff like that. So it's just a way of life. It doesn't feel like that long of a time. It feels like we just started, you know, for me. I mean, I know it is a long journey, but I'm still as jazzed up and excited about writing a song today as I was, you know, 20 or more years ago. Yeah, man, I live for this. I really enjoy it, and I enjoy gathering with the group to make the records. I enjoy. We're doing a lot of rehearsal now, so I'm really enjoying that. It's been really fun. So yeah, it's been a. I mean, we've had our problems along the way, of course, like any band does, but you know, you tend to forget about that and focus on what you like about this business. Yeah, and that's what I do.
Fantastic. And coming to your vocals, it has been amazing ever since you started singing for Virgin Steele. So the vocals just keep on becoming more amazing every time that comes out. So is there some special secret behind it?
I think over the years I've learned better how to record them to get them on the record, you know, which is not easy, because it's a very violent way of singing that I use, and it's up, it's down, it's everywhere, and you know, and when we first started making the records on our own in our own studio, I wasn't always sure how what I did, you know, live in the studio would, you know, translate to the tape, so to speak. And I learned over the years how to you know, use the gear properly to get it to sound like it did in the room, you know. So I've gotten better at that, and you know, that's just a matter of doing it. Yeah, even in the old days, sometimes when we used commercial studios, sometimes the engineers didn't know what to make of, not just me, but the rest of the group as well, because sometimes it was too loud, overblown, whatever, and you know, they had to learn how to deal with this also. That's I think with a lot of metal bands, when people who don't recorded daily, you know, where we lived when we were growing up, there wasn't always people who understood how to get this music on tape, but luckily we found a few people along the way who did understand it, and we were able to get some semblance of what we did, you know, live on record. Yeah,
Fantastic.
it's a struggle.
And do you have any plans to take Virgin Steele to the countries that you have never been before?
I would love to go to every country that we have not been before. We've been to most of Europe. We've been to, you know, not a lot of the States, but a fair amount of the United States. But there's a lot we have not been to, a lot of places we haven't been to. So yeah, I'm up for that. If we can make it go, we'll make it go. You know, we're not going away, so we're gradually going to get more and more into it. It'll be nice to at some moment say, okay, we're going to shut the front door and we're going to be gone for a year, if that's possible. See what happens. You know, maybe maybe it works that way.
And David, finally, any message that you want to give to the fans around the world?
I just like to say thanks for listening. Thanks for being there all these years and for enjoying what Virgin Steele is and what it does, and yeah, and just following along and being there. We appreciate it. I greatly appreciate it, and I'm glad that you're enjoying the new record, and we hope you will enjoy the next one, and so on and so on. So we're not going away. We're going to keep doing it. We're still, like I said, we're still very much excited about making records and going out and seeing people and playing for you all. So thank you very much, and yeah, keep going.
Fantastic, David. And David, I want to thank you so much for giving me today this wonderful opportunity to have you on this interview. And thank you. Thank you so much for the amazing album and decades of awesome music that you've been giving us. Thank you so much for that. And I wish you all the best. Hope to see you on the road.
Absolutely. Thank you, brother. All right. Okay. You well. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. Cheers.